Hey, this is Nick Corvell, Northwest County's board member. We're doing a little bit of a podcast today with Quintin and Jen Aune. We're going to introduce them as Aune Ranches and then talk a little bit about their farm to market. So with that, I'll just start with you, Quintin. Can you give us a little background on how you guys got started on the ranch side and then what's kind of developed into the farm to market store we'll ask later?
Well, COVID kind of actually spurred on our plans. My wife and I had only been married for just about a year before we were looking at the real estate market and what our dreams were. And we looked at each other one night laying in bed and said, we have to buy a ranch 5 years earlier than we wanted to. So we found a place in the Bitterroot and we got under contract in May and closed in September of 2020. And my wife had never driven a tractor before that day. And that's basically where our start came from. We run Red Angus cattle.
Nice. And then I guess I'm going to ask you a few questions, then we'll go on to you, Jen. But on getting started, do both of you guys have a town job as well? It's like, or is ranching the sole what you guys have going?
Both. I have a non-farm job, and so does my wife. At the time when we bought the ranch, I was a mechanical insulator contractor. On the road working, which quickly ended, and I became an equipment dealer.
Nice.
And then I ran a neurosurgery office as a nurse, which I have now stopped doing when I had our littlest almost 4 years ago.
Yeah, nice. Let's talk about that. How many kids? You gave me their names, but go ahead and introduce them too.
Yeah, so the oldest is Brooke, she's 12. And then Owen is 11 and Bailey is 3.
Nice. And then so you've been ranching for a few years. You guys are running Red Angus cattle. What was your start in Farm Bureau? What was your first event like? Like, how did you guys get involved or forced into where you're at right now?
Well, I found it on Facebook. So I just saw this young farmer and rancher event and I was like, hey, let's go to this. We don't know anybody. So we signed up and we actually are members through our insurance, but we didn't really know that anything about anything.
Yeah. So was that last year's event in Missoula then?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually know you, Nick, from the military. And when I walked in and seen you, I was like, hey, I know that guy. And we went through some breakout sessions, which were really cool. I think probably the biggest thing that made me want to start getting more involved in Farm Bureau is the fact that Jen and I are first generation ranchers. It kind of really motivated me to show that, there are, even though young people are leaving agriculture in droves, there are still a lot of us that want to be in agriculture and are working our butts off to find a way forward and break into agriculture on our own.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go back a little bit about the first event. It was an online social media event. Can you go into how you found that, or was it like a friend of a friend shared it to you, or you just saw it?
I just saw it and I shared it to Quintin and I was like, I think we should probably try this out. Like, it sounds like a good kind of networking event. Maybe
I think we were like, mentally we were kind of struggling a little bit to network with other young ranchers that, because we're on our own, so we really don't have a big support base. And sometimes, and YF&R kind of really showed me that there are young people in agriculture that are more than willing to collaborate with you and help you move your dream forward.
Perfect. So networking's been a big part of it, and that's one of the things I take away from it too, is like the trade show that you're coming to. This is your guys' first annual meeting too, right?
Correct.
Yeah, nice. We had to take a little break there. Quintin's name just got called. He won the Leatherman at their first annual conference at one of the trade show giveaways. So that's kind of neat too, and we'll get back to it. But we were talking about a little bit of networking. That's what they were using the YF&R event for last year. And I was just about to say, let's back it up and talk about, you have Aune Ranches, you're raising Red Angus cattle. what spurred you on to start the farm to market store that you guys, is it recently open or how long has it been open?
It opened last month in October, and what spurred it on was actually the YF&R event. When we went to the YF&R event, they had the farm to market tours, and we went to Turner Farms. And me personally, I've never been like that kind of I never had that kind of an interpretation for what my ranching dream was going to be. So Jen kind of drug me.
On the other hand, I'm like, let's have a petting zoo. Let's do this and that. Trying to make our land more profitable than it is. Just a once-a-year calf check it was tough the first
2
many
years.
Yeah, for sure.
We've really this is Aune Ranches really took off in 2023, and this farm to market store, getting the Meat Depot license and opening up a different revenue stream for my ranch. The YF&R kind of started that, and I'm actually extremely thankful to Nick Corville, to all the YF&R leadership at the time when we came in, because they're like, hey man, we have all this, and they really kind of showcase what Farm Bureau is capable of when it's executed properly.
Yeah, no, that's great. Can you kind of highlight and appreciate the recognition there? The committee did a great job at planning that event and bringing in some different stuff that we hadn't talked about. Throw in that we're having another YF&R coming up here in January in Great Falls, so not too far off. But can you go into what you guys sell at the store?
So we sell, beef, all cuts of beef. And then we bought like a 4-H pig at the local 4-H auction, and we had that butchered. So we're selling that. Me and the kids take our beef suet, render it down, and make lotion and chapstick, and we sell all that. All the canned goods from our garden and from local places that we went and picked cherries or whatever. All that's canned and for sale. And then we make
I put up hay, which is definitely not Jen's dream.
No.
She hates all things hay, but recognizes that once Will Farm to Stand opened, we're selling hay off of our website, which I never thought you did sell hay on the internet, but we are.
That's cool. What about the other thing I've seen in there? Like you have some fire starter stuff, and then the unpaper towel. Am I saying that right? Do you guys make those yourselves too?
Yeah, I do. So
nice.
I got into that. I hate going to the grocery store, and just trying to make, like I said, our place as resourceful as possible, whether that's in the winter, me sitting in front of a sewing machine, like when it's cold out, and the kids are busy doing homeschooling, I can sit there and make all these on paper towels, and once people know what they are, everybody loves them.
Yeah.
They're great gifts, and so.
And going back into the networking, because that's kind of where we started, you guys going to convention. Are you guys doing any collabs or partnerships, or is it all your own products, or are you guys selling some other stuff in there too?
We for the most part, our products are in there. We just started taking on a baked goods gal down in Stevensville, and she's collaborating with us. And she sells, so basically it's part of the Rural Food Choice Act. We're just taking full advantage of it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so people have to pay for her baked goods. She comes in and stocks it. I don't have anything to do, but it's cool that you can come in, get a loaf of bread, a steak, jam, and you almost have your whole dinner set. And then grab reusable paper towels, and I got napkins. It's just kind of fun to see. People are loving it.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then I just want to ask them how it got started. Was it easy? Was it a struggle? And just have them kind of go off on how they started selling their goods, and then what turned it into a store.
So it started with the unpaper towels. I signed up for a craft show, and we made a banner, coming soon, Aune Ranches Farm to Market, put some calves on it, our milk cow, it was a spur of the moment thing. And so as we're talking to people about these unpaper towels, they're like, well, what's with the cow? What's coming soon? And we're like, well, we're going to start selling beef, and, keep an eye out. We're right off the highway. And then we started making the building, which is it's a shed. It's a garden shed on skids.
Yep.
So we put power out to it for our meat depot, and then all summer, as we were in the process of building it, we were having like Saturday markets, and the kids would sell fresh squeezed lemonade, and we'd sell what we had.
That's awesome.
And just kept promoting like, hey, keep an eye on this building. Someday soon it will be open.
Yeah.
I finally and you know, how it morphed into the building is exactly what Jen said, but it was also like me having to mentally make the decision that this needs to happen. That, you know, my wife and I are a team, and this is the direction that we both decided we need to go into. But the other part of it is finding balance and being willing to work on it as much as you possibly can. But in addition, it's also in addition to your other regular farm chores, feeding cows, or for the summer, because we built it during the summer. I was in the middle of a hayfield most of the summer. And finding that balance, the farm stand for us, now that it's open, is allowing me to take some pressure off of my shoulders, because the farm stand's starting to help pay for the ranch, and it's going to hopefully allow us to expand our operation in the future.
Yeah, that's the way I was thinking about it, and tell me if I'm wrong, but like there was a lot of man hours, probably sweat equity going into the building, remodeling, doing whatever you did, but then like probably some sleepless nights, getting off your day job, coming home, doing chores, and then let's nail up this trim board or put this window in or whatever. But like now you're looking at a passive income that you don't, is it honor system, or you have someone staffing it?
No, it's a complete and total honor system. To date, we've had 1 2-pound package of hamburger taken, and we have cameras, and the gal that took the hamburger, she really looked like she needed it more than we did. So
that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
But everything else has been honor system, and you know, it kind of, not only does it kind of alleviate, yes, it generates a passive income and takes some load off of me and off of her for a non-farm job, but also I love seeing the look on people's faces, because they like the cows that the meat comes from, it's like they're like 50 feet away. So they see it, and the relief that they know where their food is coming from.
Well, with the new push, like Make America Healthy Again, everybody, well, where's this from? So all I advertise on like local groups is ranch, born and raised beef. You know, some people don't want it because it's not purely grass finished, but everybody else is like, I love this. Like, I love knowing, and I'll pop in to like see if people have questions when I'm available. And they love it. They're like, oh my gosh, you own this place. This is so great. Like, and when calves are on the ground, people already stop. So
I think the biggest thing, like obviously building that farm stand, there's also some unwritten rules about how clean it is and what it needs to look like and everything. So I've been building a new fence, and I've actually had customers who were so excited to get in that the farm stand had finally opened that I'm out there welding on a piece of pipe, putting a drill pipe up, fence up. I'm out there welding on a piece of pipe, and somebody came up and knocked me on my welding helmet to find what they were looking for. And the fact that I was willing to stop and interact with them and meet their needs, it really, like, it brings a sense of peace to me too, because I am helping out my community.
That's really cool. All right, just to kind of wrap it up here, I'm going to ask them 2 more questions. The first one being like, you know, you just told us how cool it was that there's people, you know, knocking on your helmet to find out where the store is and how they could get in there. So the following is there, and that's awesome. But like the store sounds like it's being very successful for the month you've had it open. You're moving into maybe like some new endeavors, or maybe thinking about some other stuff. Can you tell me, like, is agro-tourism on your radar, or is that something that you guys aren't interested in? Or, you know, there's already people on your place. What's that look like?
So yes, agritourism is something we're going to explore. Part of this farm stand and farm to market push that Jen pushed for was agritourism is something that people are breaking into. And with the Maha movement, you know, they're already showing up to buy the food, But now they get to have another closer look at what we do. And so yes, agritourism is something that we're looking into. The first idea that pops into my wife's mind is you pick pumpkin patch, or an organic corn maze where you can pick an ear of corn and take it with you, or take a couple of ears of corn with you for X amount of dollars or whatever. Agritourism is something that we're looking at.
That's cool. Have you been to any workshops about it? I know like Kim Woodring was here talking a little bit about agritourism. Did you guys make it into that one?
Yes, cool. I did this week, and it was kind of interesting because Turner Farms actually called me out in the middle of the whole thing, and I ended up having to talk a little bit about this, which was kind of surprising. I wasn't expecting John to do that, and he's just like, he was all excited because he's seen me and because he's seen our social media presence, which I was thankful for, but I didn't want to take away from what he's been doing.
Yeah, no, that was one of the breakout sessions was them talking a little bit about that. Jen, can you go into a little bit about like how have you been marketing it? Like, are you hanging stuff on cork boards, or is it all social media?
No, it's all social media right now. And just all the kind of marketing we did all summer long, where it's like, keep an eye out for this, and people are like, wow, it's open, like we bought a steak from you, this summer, or so there's that. But
that's
it's
cool.
just the learning curve of social media, so trying to
say what works.
It's awkward, like, here's my address every day. I'm like, I don't want everybody to have my address, but that's what we have to do because that's what we're trying to promote. So it's kind of a fine balance of like how much is too much. Like, I don't want my own friends and family to be burnt out, so then I just created like a separate farm to market page. I don't know. It's all a learning curve, and I really don't know what I'm doing, but I learned some stuff in the breakouts here. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. It'll be cool to talk with you guys again as you get the agritourism stuff and calving season kind of wrapped up here in the winter that's coming up. But all right, last question for both y'all. I'll ask it. What's your favorite cut of meat, and how do you like it cooked?
This is a subject of ongoing debate in my house. I am a T-bone or ribeye fan, probably ribeye more so than anything, and I like mine rare.
I'm more a sirloin girl, and I'm like more on the medium to medium well.
Yeah, perfect.
I don't want it alive still.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, I appreciate you guys doing the interview. We're definitely going to check back in with you guys and see how this store's going and maybe what you guys have learned. And I don't know, maybe pay attention and do your own breakout session here in Great Falls. But we can talk about that after this. So thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And we'll just wrap it up with that.
Thanks.